It's time to talk another Derby County transfer target, and this one is another forward by the name of Sam Gallagher, as you will have seen in the title and thumbnail. He's currently playing for Blackburn Rovers in the Championship, but is he an option that Paul Warne could look at? Will he provide another option in those forward areas? Let's take a look into Sam Gallagher now. Let's have a look at his career as a whole and whether this deal is actually one that could get done. So here we have Sam Gallagher, currently playing in the Championship for Blackburn Rovers, and he's a player who I like him, and I've seen a lot of good things from him, but I'm just not quite sure what he's actually good at, if that makes sense. You know, when you just see a player and you're like, oh, they're really good, but why are they good? Or, oh, like, and you just get that feeling that they're a good player. They seem to do all the right things, but you don't know what they're actually doing. It's just always there, always doing something, always popping up with important goals or an important assists. And for me, he's one of those players. And would I like to see him at Derby? Given our current situation with only Connor Washington contracted as a striker, with only Mendes, Lang and Blackett Taylor as the wingers, he's definitely a player who I'd like to see come to Derby County. I don't think Derby are going to be short of options for players this summer. We've already seen, we've had 3 links and Derby have been promoted 3 or 4 days, and there's going to be many more things going on behind the scenes. Derby will always have their plan A and plan B list already ready to go. They're probably already getting in touch with clubs now. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that red button down below or in this top corner to subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for all my latest EFL League One, Championship and potentially Premier League and European Championship content coming soon as well. So make sure you do hit that subscribe button down below. Let me know your thoughts on the potential signing of Sam Gallagher for Derby County. Do you think he's a player that would fit in well within the current squad, or do you think that he's one that we should maybe miss out on? If you are interested in joining the channel in a membership sort of way, make sure you click the link in the description talking about channel memberships to find out all the information you need to know about that. But I'll let you now get back to the video. Derby's biggest problem is that the championship season has not yet finished. So you've got a lot of players who probably still don't know what they're doing with their clubs, because a lot of teams won't tell you until the end of the season. Derby have done that this season, especially when you're battling for those automatic promotional playoff places. And now Blackburn are obviously in the relegation. Well, they're in and around the relegation zone. I think they're safe. With all due respect, I do think they're safe as I'm recording this video. Obviously, Sammy Schmodix has been on some incredible form this season. And for me, if Derby were to get their hands on Sam Gallagher, it'd be a very, very shrewd move. Hopefully, wages aren't too expensive. But let's take a look into Sam Gallagher's career now. And let's see where he's played, how many games he's played. Let's see where he'd fit in at this Derby County setup and how this deal could get done. So he's 1 year younger than Jamal Lowe, another transfer target who I've done a video on. And Sam Gallagher currently plays at Blackburn Rovers. Now, as with a majority of, I think, the players we're going to be targeting this summer, he is out of contract this summer. And I think it's massively important that if you are looking at players that Derby may potentially be signing, make sure you check their contracts. Anyone we're linked with, make sure you check their contracts, their age, how much they play at their club. Because for me, I think it's going to be expired contracts, loan deals. Maybe, obviously, we're looking at signing Ibu Adams, potentially up to £500,000, but I can't see us spending much money. So it's massively important that if we do get linked with anybody, check my channel, see if I've got a video out about them, and if I haven't, wait for that, because I'll try and give you the lowdown on that player and the potential for the deal to happen. A bit like this with Sam Gallagher, as we now take a look into his career. He's played for 4 clubs over his career, senior and youth. Probably played for a few more clubs when he was a lot younger, but obviously Blackburn Rovers, Southampton, Birmingham City and MK Dons. He's made 347 career appearances with 21,590 minutes, 65 goals, 33 assists, 33 yellows and 1 red. Pretty similar to Jamal Lowe in those numbers. And so for me, I think he'd be a good signing. Is another one of those players who I believe can play all across the 3. We'll get into his playing positions in just a minute. But obviously for Derby County, we're looking to add championship experience to the squad. Obviously, we've already got the likes of Cashin, who's I think played half a season at championship level. You've got Curtis Nelson, Sonny Bradley, who have played at championship level. And then you've got the likes of Callum Elder, he's played Championship. You've got, who else has played Championship? Joe Ward's done a season. Niambi's played a couple of seasons. In midfield, we don't really have any Championship experience. Actually, no. Tyrese Warne, the only contracted midfielder, he did a season with Reading, didn't he, in the Championship? And then the forward line, obviously, Blackett Taylor. I think he's only made a couple of appearances in the Championship back when he was at Villa. You've then obviously got Mendes Lang. He's played in the Championship, but it was a bit more of a turbulent time within his career. And Connor Washington's obviously played there with Rotherham, but obviously we're looking for more. We need more experience. We need a few more younger bodies in the squad, because obviously this season we've had a lot of over 30s, and I think it's massively important that we do bring in some younger players within sort of the 25 to 29 age range, and Sam Gallagher perfectly fits that, and with the positions he plays, he would perfectly fit into adding a younger body into the system. Obviously he mainly plays through the middle, and obviously that is important. You look at the players that Derby County currently have in that position, it's Connor Washington and Dejon Brown as contracts. As I'm recording this, obviously before this comes out, we may have the retained list, so obviously that will be adjusted. So do keep that in mind when you're watching this video if the retained list has come out, because obviously we could keep James Collins, we might keep Dwight Gale, obviously Tom Barkhazen for the left or right, he could stay. But again, it's another player who can play all the way across the three, and can play in behind as well, and I think that's massively important for a Paul Warne system, because the way that we got playing with Dwight Gale in the side was it was unbelievable. Having Gale, Barkhazen, Mendes Lang all sort of rotate in a front three in a 3-4-3 system. Sometimes you had Barkhazen as the furthest man forward, and Dwight Gale as the deepest forward, and then sometimes you had Mendes Lang dropping in and things like that, and you was able to rotate through the positions, and obviously having players that are capable of doing that is obviously mega important to that system. Now, obviously, once James Collins came back, it sort of changed the setup a bit, because he can't really do the rotating job. He's not quite got that speed to be able to keep up with play if he was to drop into midfield and whatnot. So that's just one of those things. Now, for me, I think Sam Gallagher would be an excellent signing. Versatile across the front. It's what Derby County need. Obviously, you've got Connor Washington who can play across the three. You've got Mendes Lang can play across the three. Blackett Taylor can play on either side. If they choose to keep Dwight Gale, he's shown that he's capable of the role. Collins obviously scored 19 goals in League One and all competitions last season. And you've got Tom Barkhazen as well, who could potentially stay. And I don't think Waghorn's going to stay, so I'm not really talking about him. So for me, I think this would be a good deal. Obviously, again, it's a free transfer. Now, he is a year younger than Jamal Lowe, so I am thinking a 2-year contract again, but I think it could be a 2 with an option. Derby have got a thing for doing it. Well, I say Derby, I think everybody does these contracts where you have options to extend and stuff like that, and I think it's important that Derby makes sure that they have players that they can tie down for longer without changing wages, or with little boosts within the triggered extension and stuff like that. Now, obviously, a bit like Jamal Lowe, Sam Gallagher has a lot of interest from elsewhere. Interest from Sunderland, Birmingham City, Ipswich are another team again interested in a Derby County target, and Coventry City. Now, obviously, Ipswich could go to the Premier League. So, as I mentioned in my video about Jamal Lowe, the big conversation there is, will they still be interested in the Premier League? Obviously, at this present moment in time, they aren't promoted as I'm recording this, but they could be by the time you're watching this. So that could obviously change what they're going for. Obviously, Birmingham City could get relegated, and then that obviously puts Derby ahead of them. You obviously then got Coventry and Sunderland, who are obviously sort of a bit. I'm not actually quite sure where Coventry is sitting in the league. I know Sunderland have had a bit of a turbulent season this year, so it'll be interesting to see what they're actually looking for this summer. Obviously, I think they need an actual manager. I think they're under caretaker charge at the moment. I could be wrong. You'll have to let me know down in the comments. Obviously, Coventry have had a really good run in the Cup this season and probably should have beat Man United, so that'll be something that might intrigue Gallagher. But obviously, the most important part of this is what do Derby think? And for me, I think he's definitely a player that will be on the radar. Being out of contract, instantly puts you on Derby's radar. So with that being said, if he's going to be on the radar, is he going to sign? Now, for me, I think a lot of Derby's problems this summer, I said it in the Jamal Lowe video, it's going to be wages. Now, I don't think we're going to spend much on transfer fees. I think we'll probably bring in Ibu Adams, maybe spend some money on another forward. I'm not going to make a video on Ibu Adams because you all know who he is. If you don't know who he is, there's a video on my channel talking about him before he signed in January. So do go ahead and check that out if you need to. But obviously, it's going to be wages. That's going to be the big topic of discussion for Derby County, especially this summer. So you're going to have to sort of bear with Derby County a bit, especially with a lot of the targets. Like, I think Jamal Lowe might be a bit out of budget. I think Gallagher might be a little bit out of budget as well. Now, obviously, with Derby being such a big club, we've seen them be able to attract players like David McGoldrick and Conor Horahan and Nathaniel Mendez-Lang and Tom Barkes into League One on capped wages. So will they be able to do that again? Attract players to their club with less wages than what others might be offering? That's going to be a question to ask. Will it have to be... obviously, I don't think Paul Warne will give out promises for game time, and that's the important thing. I know that no one's going to sign and sort of expect to play, and if they do, they'll be soon shipped out, sort of thing. So obviously, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and share it with your friends. Let me know your thoughts on Sam Gallagher down below. Do you think we'll sign him? Where do you think he fits in? If you haven't, let me know already. And then I'll catch you in my next video. Hopefully, Derby will get some signings done before the Euros, maybe even during the Euros, so that we can keep up to date with everything that's going on. But I'll try and make sure that I've got a video out for every player that is linked with Derby. It's going to be a long slog this summer, so make sure you do stay tuned to the channel for everything Derby County, League One, Championship, and even the Euros. We're going to make sure we get some videos out about that, so do make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Make sure to go and find me on TikTok, pictured here, and Twitter, pictured here. These are the places where I'll keep you all up to date with all my upcoming videos and my thoughts and feelings around the Formula 1 and football weekend.